Captain America Comics. 45 thrilling pages of Captain America, Sentinel of Our Shores, plus other great features. Smashing through, Captain America came face to face with Hitler. Also, Captain America's young ally, Bucky. This previously published content includes negative depictions of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Social change is a journey, and we must acknowledge where we've come from to build a more inclusive future. Table of Contents, Captain America. Case number 1. Meet Captain America, Sentinel of Our Shores, and Bucky. A new powerful figure and his young ally, born of the courage of America, leads the U.S. Army out of a raging inferno of terror and sabotage. Case number 2. What connection was there between the wave of sabotage that swept the U.S. defense industries and the strange little man who predicted it would happen? No man but Captain America could solve the riddle. Case number 3. Captain America and the Chessboard of Death. Weird horror struck at the army officers whose wooden images were jumped on the Nazi chessboard, but Captain America made an unexpected move. Case number 4. The Fantastic Tale of the Red Skull. Out of the darkness of an enslaved Europe, the flaming Red Terror struck at America's vital air forces, but Captain America and Bucky were still to be reckoned with. Plus other great features. Case number 1. Meet Captain America. Captain America, USA, 1941. As the ruthless warmongers of Europe focus their eyes on a peace-loving America, the youth of our country heed the call to arm for defense. But great as the danger of foreign attack is the threat of invasion from within, the dreaded fifth column. It was easy joining the army with the forged papers, now to carry out the Führer's plans. Yeah, everything is in readiness. The resulting wave of sabotage and treason paralyzes the vital defense industries. While in Washington. But I tell you, Mr. President, there's no stopping these vermin. They're so firmly entrenched in our ranks that I hesitate to give a confidential report to even my most trusted aide. An army spotted with spies. It's useless. What would you suggest, gentlemen? A character out of the comic books? Perhaps the Human Torch in the army would solve our problem. But seriously, gentlemen, something is being done. I neglected to tell you because, well, I wasn't sure. But now? Please send in Mr. Grover. Gentlemen, may I introduce J. Arthur Grover, head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who has a plan that may interest you. At the FBI chief's request, the Army men disguise themselves in civilian clothes and follow him through a secret door to a waiting car. We're just cautious, gentlemen. This plan must be protected by the utmost secrecy. They are driven to a shabby tenement district and pull up at a sinister-looking curio shop. The shop is merely a blind behind which our secret is being perfected. The door slowly opens, and a gnarled, bony hand reaches for a waiting automatic, then, recognizing the visitors, replaces the firearm. The formula has been found. They are waiting for you now. Nothing to worry about. These men are high-ranking Army officials. I'm glad to see you, sir. I think you won't be disappointed this time. The officials follow the old shopkeeper up a musty stairway, through a maze of decrepit rooms, and stop at a heavily barred door, which opens at a whispered command. Mr. Grover, we were hoping you'd come. The astonished men enter to find a surprisingly modern laboratory. The young lady behind the rubber mask is X-13, one of our most trusted agents. The Army officials gasp in startled amazement as the wrinkled old shopkeeper sheds her wizened features to become an astoundingly beautiful young woman. Grover and his pretty agent silently motion the Army men to seats in a small observation room as the scientists reveal the fruits of their experiment. A side door opens, and a frail young man steps into the laboratory. Don't be afraid, son. You are about to become one of America's saviors. Calmly, the young man allows himself to be inoculated with the strange seething liquid. There, it is done. Now to watch the reaction. Observe this young man closely. Today, he volunteered for Army service, and was refused because of his unfit condition. his chance to serve his country seemed gone. Little does he realize that the serum coursing through his blood is rapidly building his body and brain tissues until his stature and intelligence increase to an amazing degree. The people in the observation room gape in wonder at the scene before them. Why look! He's changing. It works. It works. It is working. There's power surging through those growing muscles, millions of cells forming at incredible speed. Behold, the crowning achievement of all my years of hard work, the first of a corps of super agents whose mental and physical ability will make them a terror to spies and saboteurs. We shall call you Captain America, son, because, like you, America shall gain the strength and the will to safeguard our shores. But the hand of democracy's enemy reaches deep into the ranks of America's high officials. One of the army men witnessing the demonstration is in the pay of Hitler's Gestapo. I'm afraid this is one experiment that must never reach its final test. Death to the dogs of democracy! Ugh! Professor Reinstein! What? The spy's muffled gun speaks again, before the group can recover from its surprise. The vial containing the valuable serum shatters into 1,000 pieces. His treachery discovered, the spy turns his fire on the infuriated group in the observation room. Look out, Mr. Grover! Suddenly, the enemy agent's eyes widen in horror as a terrible vengeance in the form of Captain America leaps toward him. Come on out, you skunk! Half crazed with fear and pain, the spy stumbles into the laboratory equipment in a frantic effort to escape the terrific beating. He becomes enmeshed in powerful coils of wire, which, like bands of death, cause 1,000,000 volts of electricity to burn out his life. Nothing left of him but charred ashes, a fate he well deserved. Who is Captain America? A whole nation thrills to his daring exploits. His name becomes a symbol of courage to millions of Americans, and a byword of terror in the shadow world of spies. At Camp Lehigh of the United States Army, Bucky Barnes, mascot of the regiment, approaches Private Steve Rogers. Oh, Steve! Look at this! Captain America's done it again! Although the Wonder Serum has been destroyed, its first creation, Captain America, becomes a powerful force in the battle against spies and saboteurs. Captain America captures spy ring. Captain America nabs spy. Captain America prevents dam explosion. Who is Captain America? Captain America, nation's #1 spy buster. Boy, how I'd like to meet that guy. I wish I could be like him. Maybe you can, Bucky. Maybe you can. That same night, when Bucky visits Steve's tent, he makes a startling discovery. What in... Hello, Steve. I came down to... Why, you're Captain America! You little rascal. I ought to tan your hide. I guess you got me dead to rights. I am Captain America. Gosh, gee whiz, golly, I never thought. From now on, we must both share this secret together. That means you're my partner, Bucky. And so Bucky's dream is fulfilled as he fights side by side with Captain America against the vicious elements who seek to overthrow the U.S. government. Captain America. What connection was there between the wave of sabotage that swept the U.S. defense industries and the strange little man who predicted it would happen? No man but Captain America could solve the riddle. It's the Captain and I against all enemies of liberty. Get your tickets now, just 10 cents to see Sando and Omar predict the future. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my partner, Omar, shall perform the impossible. We shall predict the future. Two pairs of eyes meet and lock. Dwarfed Omar seems to vibrate under the terrific strain. Think, Omar. Think hard. Tell us what is to come. Think. Think, Omar. Think hard. The audience is held spellbound by the weird performance. Gee, look at that. Wonder if he can do it. Can't tell yet, but this future stuff gives me jitters. Very good, Omar. Now tell us what you see. Things getting clearer. Now. A terrible accident is about to happen at Fort Bix. And at that very instant, during war maneuvers, Fort Bix is shaken by a terrific blast. And just 2 seconds ago, Fort Bix was blown to pieces in a most mysterious manner. No word of how. I'd never believe it. Private Rogers and Bucky read the news. Seems mighty strange, eh, Bucky? Yeah, this Omar and Sando act sounds like a phony to me. What say we go down and see it in person? Okay by me, soldier. They say these guys can actually read the future. I would have missed this for the world. In his dressing room, Sando shakes off the mob of reporters. You'll have to see it for yourselves, gentlemen, in our next act. Among the audience, waiting for the show to begin, are Steve Rogers and Bucky. I still think they're a couple of fakes. Shh, they're starting now. Once more, the weird performance is repeated as glaring eyes lock, and Omar's mind strives to pierce the future. Think, think, think. I see a bridge. The Hilltown Bridge. It's thick with traffic. The bridge is going to collapse. While all attention is drawn to the stage, Private Steve Rogers and Bucky slip into a corner. Hurry, Bucky. No time to lose. Let's go. Maybe there's still time. Right. At that instant, a thunderous explosion from the outside, and Captain America knows that he is too late to prevent the disaster. The theater buzzes with excitement as Captain America and Bucky turn back to find Sando and Omar. Gangway! Let's see what Omar has to say to Captain America. Just a minute, Crystal Gazers. Who are you? I'll ask the questions, mister. How did you know the bridge was going to topple? Speak up. Suddenly, Omar makes a quick dash for the door. Come back here, you runt. A woman's shrill cry for help causes Captain America to whirl about. That scream came from Sando's dressing room. Sorry, Sando, but I can't let you get away. That's funny. The room is quiet and dark. As Captain America enters the darkened room, the lights suddenly go on. Come in, Captain America. We've been expecting you. Well, well, if I haven't stumbled into a skunk's nest. In another corner of the room, Bucky and a beautiful but familiar girl are helplessly gripped by two burly Nazis. Betty Ross is the name, Captain. It seems we both have an interest in the same case. Ain't she pretty, Cap? Just then, the door opens again, and Sando enters, nursing an aching jaw. You'll pay for that blow, Herr Captain America, with slow torture. So you're one of the Fuhrer's flunkies, eh, Sando? The name is Von Krantz, and I plan a chain of disasters that will destroy the morale of your whole country. I've been investigating this ring for the government. Poor, idiotic Omar is Von Krantz's tool. The Gestapo plans the explosions, and Von Krantz and Omar predict them. I gotcha, Cap. That's all I want to know. Let's go, Bucky. Captain America and Bucky attack with the ferocity of twin tornadoes. Suddenly, the battered Von Krantz raises himself from the floor, and... Now you will breathe your last, Herr Captain. I'm going to blast us all to bits. Whoa, give me that. Nice work, Bucky. This finishes Von Krantz and his boys. Keep Krantz covered till the FBI arrives. Yes, but wait, you can't go. I want to thank you. Perhaps some other time. Good night, Miss Ross. Captain America and Bucky disappear into the night, leaving behind them a wrecked spy ring and a puzzled girl. Watch for the next big issue. Captain America. Weird horror struck at army officers, whose wooden images were jumped on the Nazi chessboard, but Captain America made an unexpected move. In a secluded section of town, a weird figure approaches a chessboard. So Admiral Perkins is giving a lecture tonight, eh? What an ideal night for a chess game. You're an important man, my dear Admiral. Too important for my cause. Too bad you must depart from your friend so abruptly. Even though you are a capable man, Admiral Perkins, I am your superior. You will never lecture tonight, for I am removing you from the game. Admiral Perkins will die tonight." In an adjoining room, hard-faced foreign agents listen intently to a shortwave set. "Admiral Perkins will die tonight." "This job's for you, number 15 and 3. "Ja, Herr Camillin, but we never see Rathcone's face." "Fool, of course you never see him, but the time will come when all America will bow down before him, before the Führer of the new regime." Gee, I never liked these old meetings anyway. "Now, Bucky, that's no way to talk. Admiral Perkins is one of the country's leading men. We can learn something from him." Time for the lecture, and military figures flock to the important session. "But I want to go out and chase crooks, and—" "Shh, the Admiral's coming on now." The curtain parts, and— "The Admiral's acting mighty strange. Looks like something terrible has happened. He's dead." In another moment, the lecture hall is thrown into a seething turmoil of angry, fighting men. "Someone get the dirty killer!" "Lynch him! Lynch him!" "Come on, Bucky. That killer certainly isn't going to wait around here." "There he is! He's getting away!" Since this is America's problem, let's see what Captain America can do. In a lightning change, Private Rogers becomes a thrilling nemesis of spies and crooks, Captain America. "All set, sonny boy? Let's go." "Wow." "Think you can handle a man's job, Bucky, my lad?" "Sure I can. What do you think I am, a baby?" "Then after him. You stick around. I'm going aloft." Even as Bucky prowls through the darkened alleys, he is watched by the lurking killer. "What's this? I'm being trailed by a kid? I thought I heard a noise. What the— Take that, you young whelp! Missed me." 2 killings in one night. Oh, I'll be decorated for this. My kingdom for a BB gun. A powerful figure leaps from the night. "Looking for decorations, eh? Here's a medal you'll have a hard time pawning." Oh! If you enjoy life at all, you'll start talking. Fast. My kind never talks. Now isn't that just too bad? This calls for a little tightening of the windpipe. No. I'll talk." Suddenly, the roar of an automatic splits the still night air. The Nazi agent slumps in death as Captain America wards off a deadly hail of bullets. Killed by his own men. There they go, Bucky. 3 of them. What are we waiting for? Too late. We'll never catch them now. The only thing left is to return to camp as Private Rogers and regiment mascot Bucky. Let's go, kid. Meanwhile, back at Rathcone's hideout and the chessboard. One less military genius to block my path to dictatorship. At this rate, I'll even rule the fatherland. Let me see. I'll nimbly jump the figure of General Ellsworth. He too must be removed. General Ellsworth will die tonight. General Ellsworth will die tonight. Well, Herr Strangler, or rather number 13, your turn has come to serve the fatherland. I will give the general a special treatment. That same night, in a U.S. Army camp. Making a swell evening of it, huh, Rogers? I think I could do worse. And you're going to do worse. You're on special duty at General Ellsworth's hut, so get moving. That's funny. Just because Ellsworth comes down here for an inspection, they put a sentry on his front door. Maybe he walks in his sleep. Looks like the general's had a hard day. Yeah, we'll drop in and tell him we're on duty. The 2 friends stare in horror at the sight that greets their eyes. Steve, look! And right in our own camp. General Ellsworth lies slumped on his table, his last agony mirrored in his sightless, staring eyes. The next day, newspapers announced to America another brutal killing in the ranks of the nation's military command. Mystery killer strikes again. New outrage angers nation. General Ellsworth slain. Murders laid to saboteurs. G-men hard pressed for action. The time is ripe for invasion. I'll have the American public begging for mercy on its knees before I'm through. Gas, tanks, planes, 1,000 weapons to whip them into submission. An iron hand such as has never been seen. But first, 2 pieces must be removed from the board. On the other hand, I have a far better plan. I'll let them witness their own downfall. They shall see themselves removed. Attention, all of you. I want Captain America and the young brat brought to headquarters, alive. I got it, Herr Camelon. We get the boy, and Captain America will follow, yeah? Yeah, Herr Strangler, but none of your special treatment. Rathcone wants them alive. Ah, that is too bad. I've wanted so much to twist his young neck. Later, back at the camp, Bucky fails to notice a menacing shadow. What the? Quiet, I would like to talk with you. And if I follow your directions, you mean I'll actually find the guy that's been doing the killing? Yeah, only you go alone, remember. That night, Bucky quietly approaches a shabby building. I wonder if that big lug was spoofing me. Wow, the door closed on me. The wind, I guess. In moving pictures, these stairways always lead to something exciting. Think I'll stroll down and see what's what. Not realizing that he's walking into a trap, the courageous youth descends to the bottom of the stairs. My, a recreation parlor, no less. An eerie voice breaks the silence. What in blue blazes? A miniature of Captain America and me. Foolish boy, don't touch that chessboard. Who are you? My associates call me Rathcone, but one day your country will refer to me as its dictator. Come, my lad, join me in a pleasant game of chess. Nothing doing, mister. I'm getting out of here. On the run. Escape is useless, you little fool. Trip me, eh? That will never do. You dare show defiance to Rathcone? Ow! Once more I am the victor. How I yearn for the moment when my chessboard is wiped clean of all who stand in my path. Let's see. I can either kill the boy at once, or wait for his more capable companion. That's it. I'll wait for Captain America, then a double killing. Meanwhile, back in camp, Private Rogers returns to his tent. Bucky? Bucky? What's this? A note. Sorry to hog all the fun, chum, but I'm going to the deserted house on Peak Street. I'm bringing home a killer, Bucky. Deserted house on Peak Street? I should have known that'd be a typical killer's hideout. No more time for routine stuff. From now on, they'll answer to Captain America. Later, Captain America makes a call on Peak Street. What a perfect hideout for foreign agents. Here's where I settle a few accounts for Uncle Sam. But another watches the approach of the daring crime fighter. Here comes Herr Captain America, feller. I give him special treatment. No, you don't. Rat! I'll tear you apart with mine bare hands. I call this one the sleeper. And it usually works. Hands up, Mr. Snooper, and keep them there. Won't you step in? Said the spider to the fly, and be quick about it. This place is jammed with pleasant surprises. What's next on the menu? I hope you enjoy your surprise. Hello, Bucky, you rascal. I thought I'd find you here. Skip it, Cap. Go to work on that bum. Unfortunately, our reckless friend is helpless. However, I'll allow him to sit in for a game of chess. It's a favorite pastime of mine, you know. Well, I'll be. So you use us for chessmen. Exactly. And when the board is wiped clean, I'll launch the mightiest blitzkrieg the world has yet seen. It's quite obvious I have the two of you trapped, and now to remove you for good. Quick as lightning, Captain America's foot lashes out. Now you've got my dander up. You! Just a gentle tap to silence him. Hurry, Cap, the others are coming. What makes you think they're coming? They have a microphone in the chandelier. The gang listens to it for orders. Well, I'll be. See? I told you so. If I'd known we had an audience, I might have sung a few numbers. Rathcone's henchmen surge towards Captain America. Kill the Yankee swine. It's loose, not a second too soon. Another account settled for Uncle Sam. Cap, I need help, quick! Bucky! Let him have it, Fritz. At the far side of the room, Bucky stares death in the face. Gangway! Ah, that Yank is loaded with dynamite. Drop that penknife. Phew, that sure was close. Boy, look at Cap go to work on those spies. This needs a finishing touch. Meanwhile, Rathcone revives and dashes from the room. You forgot one, Cap. You'll never get me, Captain America. You can't get away that easy, Rathcone, old Fuhrer. Break up my plans, eh? Take that! Didn't think that love tap would stop me, did you? Ow! Hey, Captain, take a look. Now what? How do you like this for sizing up a country? Plans and locations. Every military and industrial center in North and South America. Leave everything here while we call the FBI. It's time for us to clear out. Yes, that's right. We've got Rathcone and his entire spy ring. They'll wait. They're fast asleep. The news. Saboteurs smashed in raid. Little is known of a mysterious Captain America who was supposed to have subdued the entire gang with the aid of a boy companion. Their night's work done, the two friends fade into the darkness. Put on your dress uniform, Bucky. Major Fields has just invited us to attend another lecture. What? At Army headquarters. That's all I wanted to read to you, Rogers, just to show what this man's army needs. Wish I knew who this Captain America is. Captain America and the Riddle of the Red Skull. A car pulls to a halt on Lower Broadway. But Major, are you sure you won't need me any more tonight? Poppycock, go back to camp, Rogers. I'm in no danger. But sir, the card from the Red Skull. Just a prank, Rogers. There's no such person as the Red Skull. Good night. Maybe the Major's right. After all, no one has ever seen this Red Skull. I still feel that something's going to happen. While back at Major Croy's home. Now for something to read. Ah, this will do. Thought I heard a noise. Nerves going back on me again. Good evening, my dear Major. What? No. No! Don't! You're choking me! The terrible face draws nearer. Wide, hypnotic eyes gaze deep into the Major's. Stare into my eyes, Major. Look until you see death. Look at death. Look at death. He is the first. There will be others. Yes, many others, to look at death. Later, the body is discovered, and the police are called in. And you left him at the door? Yes, officer, and I had a feeling that something was wrong. It's funny you can't tell just what killed him. Not funny. Fantastic. Brr, it makes me shudder to see his eyes staring into space, as if looking at something unholy. While outside the window lurks the weird killer. Ha! The stupid police are baffled. Killing the others will be much easier. Come on, Bucky. It's your bedtime. I do feel a little sleepy. He's not looking. On the run. All set, kid? Captain America is going skull hunting. You bet I am. Let's go. On second thought, I better handle this alone. Wait here, Bucky. Ah, gee. Left without me, eh? Okay, I'll look up Mr. Red Skull by myself. That same night, the Red Skull and his henchmen enter a doorway in an alley. Keep your eyes open, Slug. We can't take any chances. Okay, boss. Of course you realize the main item in overthrowing a government is money. Yeah. Precisely. And while I attend to military officials, I want you boys to loot the First National Bank. Death is the penalty if you fail. Even as the killer spies make their plans, Bucky accidentally discovers their headquarters. Now if I could only get away and warn somebody. Whew, that was close. There's a guard posted down there. What's going on up there? Looks like it's raining dirt. The battered roof edge crumbles away. Bucky topples down. Well, I'll be a kid. Luckily, Bucky lands on his feet and attempts to escape the gangster. Oh, no, you don't. Come back here. All right, you asked for it. My leg. Ow. Try your funny stuff on me, will yous? A present for you, boss. Show the lad in, Slug. I'm surprised you don't know this boy, Slug. He's the capable young partner of Captain America. What? He can't be. Sure I am. What of it? We better let him go, eh, boss? On the contrary, we'll hold him as hostage. Then he shall look through my eye at death. Who's there? It's me, you sap. Captain America! Get him, boys! Help! He's a one-man riot squad! So you disobeyed my order, eh? You little rascal. Yeah, but look at the nice party I crashed. In the midst of the fray, the Red Skull departs through a secret exit. So they think they're winning, do they? I'll be back, with more murder. That finishes these babies, all except Mr. Red Skull, who seems to have left. So I see. Well, it's too late to chase him now. Let's get back to camp. The next day, Captain America once more becomes Private Steve Rogers of the United States Army. Private Rogers, fall in. Coming, Sarge. What's this all about, chum? Can't say yet. Something about airplane testing. Squad, halt. Men, I want you to meet Mr. Maxson of the Maxson Aircraft Corporation. He came in person to watch his new plane take an army test. Oh, glad to meet you, boys. There she goes. Good lord, she's on fire. Like a flaming comet, the giant bomber streaks earthward. And once again, sabotage has struck at the heart of America. Oh, dear me, and such a lovely plane, too. Plane my eye? What about the men who died in it? That's enough, Private Rogers. Fall back in line. Yes, sir. Later, back in camp. If you think it's sabotage, what are we going to do about it? We are not doing anything about it, but Captain America will. Good night, Mr. Maxson. You can rest assured that we'll investigate this accident. Dear, it was nearly too much. I have a weak heart, you know. Good night, General, and rest well. We wouldn't want anything to happen to America's greatest military genius, would we? Hello, Mildred. Sorry I'm late. No need to be. I have a surprise. A package came for you today. Well, wonder who's been playing Santa Claus. The package is opened, and a terrifying red skull rolls out upon the table. What the? This is your last night on Earth, General Manor. Already death approaches you. The Red Skull. Haha, a flimsy joke, I must say. General Manor. You! A gun is useless! Ah! Peer into my eyes, General. Look at death. No! Ha! Another has met the skull, and lost. Major Croy, General Manor, Captain America, Bucky. Mrs. Manor hears the shot, and gun in hand, rushes into the living room. Hands up! What have you done to my husband? Oh! Charles! Speak to me! Charles is not speaking to anybody. You red devil! You'll pay for this! You're wrong. It's America that will pay, because I'll be master over all. Don't look at me that way. Look at you? Ha! My death is only for important people. Footsteps. Like an angry tornado, Captain America burst into the room. I thought I heard a shot. What? You got up after that punch? Blundering fool. I'll have your life for that. There, take that. He's out cold. Now to get down to business. Weakling, wake up and look into my eyes. Look at death. But another figure appears on the scene. Look into my eyes, eh? What kind of game is this? Excuse me, I didn't see you. What? You little twerp. I'll mangle you. Cap! Cap! Get up quick! Slowly, Captain America regains consciousness. Wow, I must have been hit by a gunboat. Trying to pass me by, eh? Nothing left but the old sleep punch. What? Can you beat that? The skull was only a false face. Sure thing, and look who's behind it. Why, it's Mr. Maxon! Of Maxon Aircraft, Inc. A hypodermic. That doesn't make sense. It makes plenty of sense, Bucky. This is Mr. Red Skull's look of death. I don't get it. Just a killer at heart, eh? Maxon. That wrecked plane was your fault, too. It'll take more than you to lick this country. So what? Your plan was to scare your victims out of their wits, and then inject this poison into them, making believe you killed them with your eyes. The killer attempts to get his death weapon. I'm not finished, just watch. No, you don't. Sorry, you can't have that. It's state's evidence. The fool! He rolled over on the hypo. But you saw it all. Why didn't you stop him from killing himself? I'm not talking, Bucky. Hello? Federal Bureau of Investigation? This is Captain America. I'm phoning from General Manners' home. Yes, he's dead. Yes, so is his killer, the Red Skull. He committed suicide. Our work is done. Come on, Bucky. Later, the G-men inspect the body of George Maxon, alias the Red Skull. It's Maxon, all right, but why should the head of an airplane corporation resort to this spy stuff? What's that piece of paper sticking out of his side pocket? I think this letter will explain the reason for Maxon's terroristic activities. When America is within the fold of the Greater Reich, the post of Minister of All American Industry shall be the reward of your excellent spy work, the Führer. And so ends the bloody career of George Maxon, alias the Red Skull. Back in camp, Private Steve Rogers and Bucky relax in their tent. But the work of Captain America is never done, as they plunge into new exploits against America's enemies. Watch for the next issue. If you like Captain America, you won't miss Captain America's companion comic book, USA Comics, featuring smashing action stories of new, great heroes of America. Mr. Liberty, the USA Marine Undersea Guardian of America. Sky Devil, young reckless daredevil of the air. Also, Young Allies. United States Man, headline hunter, foreign correspondent. The Black Ace, the Star. Hurricane. Hurricane, son of Thor, god of thunder, and the last descendant of the ancient Greek immortals, returns to Earth to fight his ancestral enemy, Pluto, the devil, whose horrible crimes have almost ruined civilization. In mortal guise, Hurricane visits Coast City, the scene of a series of brutal killings. Cousin Pluto's hand reaches everywhere. He'll release Coast City when I finish singeing his claws. Death toll mounts as gangland guns claim new victim. I'm in quest of transportation, friend. If you mean you want a taxi, hop in, mister. I'm curious to see how fast you could take me to my destination. If that's $5 flashing in me mirror, I'll put her right down to the floorboards. You have little faith in your vehicle. I'm sure she can do better than a crawling 80. While the unsuspecting driver keeps his eyes on the road ahead, his immortal passenger removes 2 silver wings from their concealment in his person and attaches them to either side of the taxicab. Suddenly, the cab surges wildly ahead. It is transformed into a veritable comet. Speed is rendered too inadequate a word to describe its velocity. This is much better, a little less crowded, don't you think? I've quit thinking, brother. I'm praying. Ah, here we are. For a conveyance such as this, 5 seconds flat isn't bad. I am indeed impressed by your quick service. I shall recommend your cabs to all my friends. But I... Yeah, sure. Your cabs truly live up to the symbol they bear. Ha ha ha. Goodbye, my friend. Don't sprout any wings going back. As the bewildered cabbie speeds away, a shadowy figure bearing a gun appears behind Hurricane. Uh-oh. Up with him, copper. He looks like one, doesn't he, Jake? Stow your gats, boys. I'm not a copper. I want to see Piggy Peroni. Give me that hat. I thought so. Look at Cokie. He's got coils. He's not a copper. He's little Lloyd Fauntleroy. Now take me to Piggy. Okay, Whirlwind. March this way and keep your mitts where I can see 'em. I'm Piggy Peroni. Mike Curie is the name, Piggy. I'm tough, fast, and short of dough. Chunk Lewis says you can help me pick up some change. For a killer, you got a queer-looking pan and a queer moniker. Sit down. Yeah, I think I got a spot for you. If you're as good as you say you are, we'll put you on the payroll. Hey, Dum-Dum. I'm coming. Who's the new fish, Piggy? He looks cute. Mike's a pal of Chunky Lewis. He'll work with you tonight. Pleased to meet you. What's the layout for tonight, Piggy? Oh yeah, the Tim O'Leary knockoff was ordered for tonight. It's a small job. Pays $20. Give him a workout first, and then finish him off. Do a clean job and watch out for witnesses. Remember, the big guy don't like slip-ups. Hurricane, enraged at Piggy's callous order, jolts the mobster out of his chair as Mike Curie is transformed into Hurricane, master of the storm. What the? Piggy, look! Well, what is this? Who are you? Plug him, dum-dum! Hurricane acts with the speed of light as his hazy, streaking form easily avoids Dum-Dum's close-range fire. Dum-Dum gasps in amazement. From out of nowhere comes a terrific impact which sends the bewildered killer crashing into oblivion, a sprawling, unconscious mass in a corner of the room. Wait, Mike, listen, I didn't mean nothing. Honest, Your hands drip with mortal blood. You've made a thriving business out of the foulest crime man can commit, Piggy. The punishment awaiting you will never end, Piggy, not even after the chair. Meanwhile, in his office, Police Commissioner Reagan braves the bombardment of criticism pouring from the lips of impatient Prosecutor Nelson. I don't want excuses, Reagan. I want Piggy Peroni. He's important. He can lead us to the big guy. And I tell you, we're doing all we can. We're not magicians. You can't expect me to make passes and have him come flying to us through the window. What in... Reagan, I'm going nuts. It's Piggy. With wings. Suddenly, the wings vanished in twin bursts of light. The wings are gone, but Piggy's still here. This can't be real. Facts are facts, Regan, even if they are insane. This is Peroni, all right. How he got here we'll never know. But Piggy knows who the big guy is. We've got to make him talk. Fast. But Piggy has already talked. To Hurricane. So this is the Vanderpont estate, eh? I think I'll crash their masquerade ball tonight. I'd like to see one of their guests, Paul Sadin. Laughter and merriment prevail at the Vanderpont masquerade ball, as its socially prominent participants revel in joyous abandon. Mr. Paul Sadin. The entrance of the tall, majestic figure in crimson visibly startles the swaying sea of merrymakers. Let's dance, honey. Gosh, that man's makeup makes my flesh creep. Hiya, boss. This is me, Trigger. You certainly had them society stiffs jumpy. You look like the real article in that getup. Confidentially, Trigger, I am the, real article. Always the joker, eh, boss? Yes, Trigger, I'm somewhat of a joker. Unfortunately, my humor is rarely appreciated. Except by you boys. That's a good one, boss. Slipping a Mickey in the punch. Boy, you sure are a card. Yes, it's a Mickey, Trigger. A very lethal Mickey. You mean it's poison? Yes, Trigger. A painful, slow strangling poison. I think it's time I joined in the fun. I do hope Pluto won't find my brand of humor too distasteful. Hurricane's godlike body fades in the gleaming center of an aura of streaming light. Hurricane reappears in a guise which draws gasps from many an earthly sinner. Hurricane! Why, you meddling young fool! Gabriel's the name. I'm one of St. Peter's boys. I've been sent to fight the devil, alias Paul Satan, alias the big guy. Know him, Pluto? The angel's garb vanishes as Hurricane's steel fist smashes his satanic relative into the poison punch. He won't die! Now I'll attend to you, you bloodthirsty little toad. A thunderous roar fills the great ballroom. The terrified socialites find themselves witnessing a battle not meant for mortal eyes. The Vanderpont mansion resounds to deafening, blood-chilling battle cries. Hurricane and the devil rush each other in a furious head-on charge. The entire universe seems to explode with the impact of the two colossal figures. Meanwhile, the mortal spectators cringe and tremble as the titanic struggle rages with the fury of 1,000 thunderstorms. At the DA's office, Piggy Peroni is named Paul Satan, well-known playboy, as the chief of the murder ring. DA Nelson loses no time in tracking his quarry to the luxurious Vanderpoint estate. Keep alert, boys. Satan's a killer. No need for guns, Commissioner. The shooting's over. I'm afraid you won't find Paul Satan in there. He's gone. Gone back to... He won't return. You will find Trigger Bates. He's dead. Last of murder mob. Forget about Satan. It is better so. I must go now. I am weak. But I will return. Until then, goodbye. But... An instant later, Hurricane's blurry shape speeds past the startled police commissioner and disappears from view. Later. Extra! Get your paper! Murder mob crushed. Piggy Peroni to die in chair. Trigger Bates found dead. Extra! At the prosecutor's office that night. That should close our case, Regan. Yet somehow the queer, fantastic side of it still baffles me. Maybe it isn't meant for us to understand. The gang is smashed, the case is closed. Don't miss Hurricane's further adventures in the next exciting issue. Tuk, Caveboy, Stories from the Dark Ages. Ak, the last of the shaggy ones, called him Tuk, but the boy didn't realize that Tuk meant Avenger, and that he was destined to roam the prehistoric wilds of 50,000 BC in search of Atalan, island of the gods, to reclaim a lost throne. Seated by their fire, Ak motions the boy to his side. Your body sags with weariness, old one, yet your one eye is alive with words yet unspoken. Speak, wise Ak. Know you, cub, that old Ak's body weakens fast. The long sleep may overtake him this very night. Listen sharply to his story. Hear every word. This news saddens me greatly, old one. I await your story. Ak begins his story. Many suns have passed since that day I saw his tribesmen cast the Hairless One and his mate on our shores. Leaving us to the beast, eh? Well, we'll be back. Do you hear? Kadir will fall. The Hairless Ones departed across the long waters in a log with white wings, leaving the strange pair behind them. The male's body rivaled that of Org, the mammoth. His roars were like thunderclaps. I thought him a water demon and quaked with fear. The female, whose large, soft eyes were those of Anta, the deer, looked sadly at the golden-haired cub she held in her arms. It was then I caught the scent of Gwala, the woolly-horned. Gwala had been stalking me since dawn, but now it was the smoothskins he sought as prey. Raya, take to the trees! The boy! Fadian, I can't leave you! The next instant, Gwala was wishing he had stayed on my trail in the first place. The Hairless One fought with the strength and fury of a saber-tooth. Never had I witnessed such a battle. Suddenly, Gwala, roaring in pain, wrenched free. Nearby, the female screamed. For the dying Gwala in his final wrath had gored the smooth skin with a vicious thrust of his great horns. Locked together, they crashed to the ground. Gwala moved no more. His great woolly bulk lay stilled in death. It was the Hairless One who rose. But Gwala had done his work well. The hairless giant soon slept the long sleep. His mate hung her head and shrill cries came from her throat. This was strange since she had not been wounded. The scent of blood soon brought the 4-footed killers from the forest. Cag, the lion wolf, was first to arrive. I'll never understand what prompted my act. I swung from a vine toward the doomed hairless female, and snatched her from Cag's very jaws. The ground below echoed with the roars of new arrivals. I knew all signs of Gwala and the smooth skin would soon be gone. The hairless female was a heavy burden. I fled to safety in the rock country beyond the forest. For many suns to follow, I was greatly pleased. I, a shaggy one, had defied Cag, the lion wolf, like the hairy Gorics who hunt with sharp sticks. I was mightier than Cag and his 4-footed brothers, greater than the 2-legged Gorics who worship stone and eat brains. I worshipped a living goddess. I, Ak, the last shaggy one, was the greatest of all. Soon after came the sad sun. I was hunting food when Gru, the lion, found the worship cave. I returned to find my goddess defending her cub from Gru's slashing claws. I had always feared Gru, but now I knew only rage. I would kill Gru, or die. My rage gave me the strength of Tor, the mammoth. I moved a great boulder. It fell on Gru and crushed him. But my goddess was beyond all aid. She bled from many wounds. She never wakened. My grief was great. You have never told me of these hairless ones before, O Ak. What had become of the hairless cub? I fled with the cub to a cave out of reach of any intruders. He was a god cub, and I worshipped him as I did his mother. You are that cub, Tuk. That is why you are hairless. Now I can sleep. Following Ak's death, Tuk takes a last look at his beloved rock country as he reaches the outskirts of the jungle. Gorics, brain-eaters. It is only a hairless cub. Good enough. I am hungry. Tuk thinks and acts quickly. One of his attackers hurtles toward the earth below. The other Goric seizes the boy's hair in his brutal grasp and raises his knotted club for the death blow. Above them, strong fingers draw taut a giant bow, and an arrow finds its mark in the hairy body of the Goric. Tuk scans the surrounding foliage for the owner of the death stick, which so thoroughly dispatched the hairy Goric. Suddenly, Tuk's eyes blink at the descending blur. An arm of steel encircles his waist as he is lifted bodily into space. Tuk is released on an adjoining tree as death strikes where he had stood a moment before. Twice have you saved my life. Tuk is grateful. You are hairless. Are you of my tribe? I am Tanir, the hunter. I like you, cub. Your eyes never show fear. That night at their fire, Tuk recounts a story told to him by old Ak. That is indeed a strange and sad tale. The road you take is dangerous for so young a cub. Your quest is the envy of any fighting man, Tuk. I, Tanir, am a fighting man. My arrows thirst battle. I shall go with you. You'll need us both, my arrows and I. Don't miss the next exciting issue in which Tuk and Tanir, the Cro-Magnon, find fabulous Atlantis.